The best-selling self-help author of all time, Napoleon Hill, once wrote, "The capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is the chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling." And so on today's show, we are teaching you the power of persistence.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, I am fired up to join you today. I'm always fired up, but today I'm especially fired up because we're talking about Persistence 101, Jason. Persistence 101.
Yes, my favorite subject in college.
How long have I known you?
Going on 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years I've known you. And every day that I've known you, I have put out a show.
That's true.
Every single day. And every single day, I mean, think about that. Every single day I've put out a show. And I've been putting out shows since before I've known you.
Right.
And right now, between the podcasts that everyone can access for free and the videos, we have a big video online education platform there. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on the business school button, you can access that for $19 a month. And you get to come to a conference, by the way, if you are a subscriber. And there's a bunch of free downloadables and that kind of thing. But between the video and the audio, I now have 4,000 recordings. 4,000 recordings.
Wow.
And I mention this because we're talking about persistence. And today's theme is if you're going through hell, don't stop. If you're going through hell, don't stop. So the question I would have for you is why did I want to start this podcast? That's maybe a question someone should ask themselves. Why? What do you think, Jason?
I mean, in your tagline, it says that you want to mentor millions. So what better way to be able to talk to 1 million people at one time than to make a podcast?
There it is. And so when you do your first show and you have 1 download of your show.
Oh, yeah.
Does that feel like encouragement?
I'm sure you looked at it and you went, oh, yeah. But most people would look at it and go, I didn't get more than that?
There you go. You just said a big thing, though. You said what?
You would look at it and say, yeah, I got that 1 download. But others would look at it and be discouraged and say, that's not enough. I'm supposed to reach more.
Now, when you've been recording for 2 weeks and you have really at that time, I think we had 15 downloads.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, you do 14 shows, you have 15 downloads total. What do you think most people would do at that moment?
They'd probably say, well, this clearly wasn't meant for me, and then go focus on something else.
So what if there was just one character trait that would separate everybody out there listening from success or failure? What if there was just one character trait that separates the intenders from the contenders, that separates the pretenders from the contenders? What if there's just one character trait that would separate you from super success? Nathan, you are a carpet guy. Can you share with the listeners what your company is called and how long you and I have known each other?
We have known each other the entire time that we've known each other. I'm going to say
Oh,
it right
wow.
off. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's
And
impressive.
we are, our tagline's Carpet Diem, sees your clean today. We're a carpet cleaning company that covers here in the Tulsa area. Get your first clean just for $99.
How long have I known you, though, seriously?
We've a little over technically, you actually, one of your DJs DJ'd our wedding over 20 years ago. So, I mean, it's actually been a long, slow romance, but we've known each other quickly for the last 2 to 3 years.
How do we spell your last name?
It is S-E-V as in Victor, R-I-N-U-S.
So Nathan Savinas.
Sabrinas, yes.
And you're the founder of Complete Carpet.
This is correct.
What's your
22
website?
years. CompleteCarpetTulsa.com.
Okay, so people can check you out online. They can look up CompleteCarpetTulsa.com and verify.
They can.
Talk to the listeners out there about the growth that you've had in your business over the past 2.5 years that we've worked with you.
Oh, in the last 2.5 years, we have gone up 3 times in the amount of business that we're doing, and we're looking forward to probably doing even more this coming year. I think we're up like 30 or 40% just in this month.
So you've tripled the size of your company in the last couple of years.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, again, Jason, you're a coach. We're trying to help our listeners out there. When we teach a guy like Nathan the proven path, we do it. It starts off, we do a 13-point assessment. You've heard me do 13-point assessments.
True.
Without getting into any specifics this weekend, why did the 2 13-point assessments that you heard me or that you were a part of those calls, why did I not take on those clients?
Well, the first one was a situation where the person that was seeking the coaching, you identified immediately, one, not only were they not able to make actual executive decisions, so therefore avoiding the path before we even get started, but at the same time, they weren't really looking for the proven path. It was like, oh, I have an idea, but the main thing was if you're going to go through, the 30 minutes to an hour, assess the 13 things they need to do, and then give them that, immediately this person was not able to, 1, execute themselves, but 2, they had to pass it by a committee, which is going to block everything.
So I knew they weren't going to be a good fit.
Right.
Okay. But then when we work with a guy like Nathan, we meet him, we do a 13-point assessment, we find out that, okay, this is a good fit, we make a plan.
Yep.
But the first time that somebody runs into adversity, I bet you, and that's why I don't take on a lot of clients. That's why I only take on 160 clients. And that's why we have some great clients.
Yeah.
But the first time that most people run into adversity, they do what?
They just turn tail. Like, nope.
They quit.
Yep.
So let's talk about it. Nathan, you are the highest and most reviewed carpet cleaning business in Tulsa at this point.
That is right.
Talk to me about this. Do people ever say no to you?
Oh, yes, definitely. There are times where we actually, and I think this is a good thing for businesses to do, you don't want to take on all the customers. Just what you're talking about right now, you shouldn't take, if you have someone that wants to be a part of your coaching program, but they're not coachable, that's really hard sell to do. And we have times where we've got certain people that want their carpets cleaned in a way that we don't clean them. As a real humorous example, I had one lady come up to me and said, sir, I would like you, when you clean my carpets, to make sure you put bleach in the water. And I said,
Whoa,
no.
Shunda.
If I use bleach in your water, your carpets will, 1, fall apart, but 2, they're going to be a new color after I'm done. She said, no. Only way to disinfect them, put bleach in the water. And I had to say, you know what? I'm sorry to disagree, but I can't clean your carpets with bleach in my water. It'll destroy my machine.
When you ask people, though, for reviews, people say no sometimes.
They do, yes.
When you are writing search engine content for your website, we write a lot of content for you. Did you get to the top of Google immediately?
Oh, I mean, it was like, it took 6 seconds. No, it took quite a long time.
How long did it take our team to get you to the top of Google?
I'd say a good 6 months or so.
I believe so.
Yep.
Jason, how long does it take the average client we work with? There's some clients that we've worked with, like for my own business, Elephant in the Room, Oklahoma City. It took 2 full years to get to the top of Google.
Yeah, you guys were writing for quite some time.
Before we even had a franchisee who wanted to buy one. So,
hey, what is a couple reasons why it takes so long? Like,
well,
what
you
are
have
those
you have 4 variables that impact your rank in Google. And if you guys want to download, Jason put a link to it. It's thebestseobook.com.
Got it.
thebestseobook.com. All the listeners right now, you can download my book called Search Engine Domination and open up to chapter 2 where there's a checklist of all this stuff here. But there's 4 variables that impact your rank. One is your website has to be canonically compliant.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Canonically compliant. You have to follow all of Google's documented rules, which you can find in chapter 2 of my book, Search Engine Domination. You can download it for free by going to thebestseobook.com. But they want your website to be canonically compliant. Step 2, Jason, you got to be canonically compliant. Then you got to be
Mobily compliant.
Mobily compliant. Your website has to follow Google's mobile compliance rules. But now, those were events. Now, here we go. Step 3, you got to have the most reviews. And step 4, the most original, relevant words, the most original, relevant HTML content, the most original, relevant hypertext markup language text, the most original words. And if you don't know what I mean, download my book, thebestseobook.com. You can download it there. But this is the problem. is that the passage of time will not help.
No.
If you're going through hell, don't stop. What gets you to the top of Google is having the most content. Jason, why are people finding our show all over the world, around the world? Why?
Well, which shout out to our buddy in Russia, Daniil.
Yeah, Daniil, what's up?
But for the same reason, like one of my clients, Da Vinci, he just landed a client in the middle of Africa and then one in India because, just like you guys, people are finding them and the Thrive Time show because you guys obsess about having the most content. And you cover your bases and you don't stop. You don't just go, you know what? We're number one right now. That's good enough.
So this show right now, today, it will be transcribed using a service, and then we use Temi, Temi.
Yep.
And then we have a member of our team who goes through and cleans up the transcript to make it basically to eliminate as many errors as we can, while also knowing we have to put out content every day.
Right.
But when you are not top in Google, Nathan, most people are going to quit. They just do. It's like they start and they say, I'm going to start. I want to do some search engine. I'm going to try it out for a month, and I'm going to see if it works.
It almost sounds like one of those New Year's resolutions. You put those 6 days of hard work in for, that's it.
But Jason, you see people say that.
Yeah.
I want to try it out for 30 days and see how it works. And I let them know that's not how Google works.
No, not at all. And they'll give me examples too. It's like, oh, well, I heard that, Nathan got there in 3 months. Well, it could be that Nathan was shooting for something that was more winnable, but at the same time, like, I don't do comparisons. Like Marty with Oklahoma Roof Nerds, he's top in Google, but I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, it was super easy for him. He woke up super early in the morning and he wrote for hours. On top of that, he knew it wasn't going to be enough, so he got the team to do it and did that ongoing for a year before he got top in just Broken Arrow alone.
Napoleon Hill wrote he says, the person who moves with definiteness recognizes the difference between temporary defeat and failure. When plans fail, he substitutes others, but he does not change his purpose. He perseveres. I think that the average person right now needs to crank up the level of persistence dramatically.
Right.
Dramatically. So let's think about this for a second. Jason, right above your head is a what? Right above your head. There you go. What is that?
An Edison bulb.
Okay. Who and that Edison bulb was originally created by who?
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Edison.
Right. Thomas Edison. So think about this for a second. Thomas Edison created the modern light bulb. Somebody out there is saying, he stole it from Tesla. Okay, fine. Let's say he did. But his laboratory, Thomas Edison's laboratory, they methodically logged all of their experiments.
Right.
And they, after 10,000 failed experiments, now this is not just him, this is his entire team. After 10,000 failed experiments, this is what Thomas Edison had to say to somebody within earshot. And this was documented. He said this. He says, I have not failed 10,000 times. I've not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways will not work. When I have eliminated the ways that will not work, I will find the way that will work. Thomas Edison.
So for your 10,000th podcast, are you going to do it exclusively on Thomas Edison?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to keep on going. Just keep on going. I'm not really sure. We have listeners that ask us questions, and then that becomes our next shows. So we've had a lot of listeners who've been asking me recently about how do you persevere? How do you do it? So I'm going to try to walk you right now today through a lot of examples, and hopefully that one of these will resonate with you and connect with you. But think about this. This room that we're in right now has light bulbs. How different would it be if we didn't have light bulbs? What if Thomas Edison would have quit? What if Tommy E would have been Easy E and he would have just quit? It's too hard. I'm quitting.
Be a lot of stuff we don't have right now.
Now think about this. After he invented the light bulb and he made it commercially viable, then homeboy says, you know what? I think, and by the way, this story is crazy. He said, I think I can record and capture the human voice and play it back.
Are you sure that won't steal your soul?
Yeah, that sounds like witchcraft.
Think about this for a second, though. Could you imagine what it would be like to be around during the time of Thomas Edison, but before the actually recorded audio worked?
Oh, yeah. Because we take it for granted now, but that blew people's minds.
So this is what he did. He starts putting his hands on the throat of himself and other people. He's like, don't move, I got it, don't move. And he says, it's vibrating. You see that? We need to recreate those vibrations. So he starts trying every possible way he can think of to recreate the human voice.
Was he looking for good vibrations?
He could have been. They're nice. Think about this for a second, though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And then he almost lost everything while people don't realize this. He almost lost everything again. And then it worked. And then all of a sudden, record players and phonographs and wow, it changed the world. Then he says, hey, I got another idea. What if we made this thing called moving pictures? And they go, what? He's like, I think I can capture and film. What's that? Okay, I'm going to take pictures and I'm going to but of stuff that's happening now, and I'm going to play it back. I'm going to call it video. And at that point, everyone thought he was nuts. And he did it again.
So Thomas Edison killed the video star or the radio star.
He did.
Classic.
Think about this for a second, though, guys. Think about how freaking difficult that would be to create audio, video, and audio, video, and the light bulb.
That's literally just reinventing everything. I mean, nobody's done it before.
That's wild. Now, another example for you might say, well, okay, I don't like the Thomas Edison example, and I there's a cynic out there, and they say, well, but Tesla is the one who invented it, so I don't like that story. Okay, let me just give you one more Thomas Edison quote. Thomas Edison said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration."
You're going to need a bucket.
Think about this. 99% perspiration. Nathan, how long have you been cleaning carpets?
I have been doing it for most of my life, but I've started Complete Carpet 22 years ago this month.
22 years ago. Most businesses, according to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses, according to Inc. magazine, fail within 10 years. Jason,
Wow.
you see this.
Yeah.
Why do people quit? What happens?
It gets too difficult, or they just they stop putting in the work necessary in order to be successful. Because, I mean, what most people don't understand is this doesn't come easy for you or Nathan. You guys work at it every single day. Like you said, you've been recording podcasts the entire time you've known me, and the podcast also predates me. But you realize how much content you need in order to get where you want to go. Nathan realizes how much knowledge he has to have, all the systems his business has to have, how hard he needs to work in order to make sure that, the shuttle keeps moving forward.
So I'm going to give everybody some action items here today, okay? Some action items. 1, attach yourself today, right now, attach yourself today to a goal that inspires you. But do not attach yourself to a goal that does not inspire you.
True.
Why? Why, Nathan, should you not attach yourself to a goal that, really isn't important to you?
If I was to go biblical, it is because your people will perish for a lack of vision. If you don't know where you're going, you cannot get there. If you're trying to bowl on a bowling alley but you're facing backwards, the ball will never hit the pin. So you've got to have something that you're going after. You have to have something that's your internal drive. I love the old saying that says, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. And so you've got to have something that you think you can. Otherwise, you just can't by default.
So here's an example. We're in the process of building a new office and building a new house and some certain things we're building. And
yes.
I don't care at all about any aspect of the house except for the pool and the man cave. I don't care. I don't. So it would be insincere for me to say, and I don't say this, but it would be insincere for me to say, I'm going to put all my effort into it. I'm going to really research and really figure out the perfect layout and design because I just don't care.
Right.
Will there be sharks with lasers on their head inside the pool? This is just they want to know.
The pool. I mean, I want a cave. I want a man cave. I want a waterfall. I want a hot tub. I want a sauna. I mean, these are things I'll do every day. I'll be in there every day.
Right.
But I don't care about other things. And what happens is people are out there. You're letting other people make your goals for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents are saying you need to go to college, so you're going because they want you to go. But if you don't want to go, Jason, you've seen people that went to college but didn't want to go.
Oh, absolutely.
But their parents are paying for it.
Yeah, wasting $45,000 a year just so they can party or do nothing.
Do you see a lot of tenacity out of people that have goals made by other people?
No. If anything, they end up resenting whatever field they're in or whatever action they were given.
So attach yourself to a goal that inspires you. You might say, well, how do I know if it inspires me? Does it keep you up late and wake you up early? Are you so excited about it? We've all dated. I remember when in college I was dating, Vanessa. And like when you're dating somebody, you're newly in love, you could stay up late into the night talking about whatever, and you could still get up early the next day because you're inspired. I have been inspired by what I do for a living since the age of 16. I had 3 jobs, Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV, en route to building my first company, DJConnection.com, because I was inspired to not be poor anymore. But you've got to find a goal that inspires you, that liberates your creativity, that makes you want to get up and get it done. I woke up this morning at 3 a.m. I wake up every morning at 3 a.m. Do I feel tired? No. Why? Because I'm inspired, and that's what you need to have to be successful. You cannot run around without a vision. Without a vision, the people perish. We get it. I think a lot of people, Jason, would you agree, because you are not a Christian man, would you agree that people like to quote Bible verses out of context without maybe knowing the entire verse?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you seen this happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man shall dominate wife. What? Where is that?
Well, okay, I want to share this. So this is a Bible verse, Proverbs 29:18. I'm going to read the whole thing to us, and I would like to see, Jason, if part of this is maybe new to your ears.
Okay.
Because you've heard where there's no vision, the people perish. You've
Right.
heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the rest of the verse. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Ooh, happiness.
But he that keepeth the law. Okay, let's do another translation because I want to make sure we're getting this. All right, Jason, because Jason, as a non-Christian man, is going to be our Bible scholar, and he's going to break down what it means. Let me read another one to you. This is the New International Version.
All righty.
This is the one I want you to break down, okay?
Got it.
Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no revelation, that's another word for vision, people cast off restraint, but blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. What does that mean to you in a non-religious sense? What does that mean?
In a non-religious sense,
Yep.
It's if you have a goal, you have to know exactly what the goal is. It has to be measurable. Otherwise, when you run into a problem, you're going to say, like everybody else, like we've already talked about on the podcast already, you're going to say, oh, well, I don't really know how to conquer that adversity, so I quit. But if you stick with it and you know your path and you persevere, you're going to be successful.
And think about this for a second. To wake up every day at 3, what time do I have to go to bed? I go to bed at 9 every single night. That's restraint. Where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. There's no reason to sacrifice if you don't know why.
Right.
But blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. I mean, if you listen to this show and you want to get to the top of Google, do you realize Randy Antrican, you heard the call with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He used to do $300,000 of sales, like every 3 months. He did $352,000 of sales 2 weeks ago. It's in 1 week.
Yep.
Wow.
Why, Jason, is that exciting?
Well, that's super exciting because he's showing that it's possible to break down your barriers. You don't have to be stuck at, the 300,000 over 3 to 6 months. You can make more as long as you figure out what you have to do, nail it and scale it, and then repeat.
Let's get rich. Let's not sit there and have small goals. No small goals. Have a goal that inspires you. Come on, man. Have a goal that inspires you. My goal is to help people like my father, who my dad went to Oral Roberts University. He had the degree. He followed the program. He graduated near the top of his class, but he was delivering pizzas and working at a gas station in his late 30s. Not because he's an idiot, because they don't teach this stuff anywhere.
Right.
So that's why I do the show. That's why I do the show. It inspires me. That is why I do the show. Now, step 2 for persistence. You got to make a list right now, Jason. You got to make a list. Make a list of the things that you are willing to say no to to get that success.
That's true.
Okay, Jason, what time did you get here today?
Well, officially got here about 5:15.
So 5:15, in order
Set
for
the
you
car.
to be ready to go at 5:15, what time do you find yourself having to go to bed? In order to be alive and awake and ready to go at 5:15, what time do you have to go to bed?
Well, it's best to go to bed around 9:30 so I can ensure that I get a lot of sleep. I can run on, small amounts of sleep, but the bedtime for me is less important than the time I need to get up, which is I always get up at 4 because if I don't, I throw off my entire routine.
So you though are willing to say no to sleep in order to say yes to something else.
Right, or I'm willing to say no to, my family really wanted me to come over and watch the McGregor-Cowboy fight last night.
Yep.
But the fight started at 9, which means I know the title card doesn't start until 10, and if I have to get up at 4 and I'm watching a fight until 10:30, I know that I don't need that much sleep, but I'm not going to waste the opportunity just to see something that I can watch on YouTube tomorrow.
And I'm not saying that I'm not asking you for a hard number here, but are you finding with your extended family that you are maybe starting to become one of the higher earners?
Absolutely, which I never thought would happen as a youngster. I always thought, I'll find something to do, but I'll always look up to everybody else. But now I would say structure-wise and pay-wise, yeah.
So my personal goal this year is to put you and Andrew in that $100,000 club.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to work towards to help you guys get to those goals. But for the sacrifices you've had to make to be on this show consistently, you've made sacrifices. And I think a lot of people want to say, yes, I got a goal that inspires me.
Yeah.
Woo! I want to build a carpet business. But I'm not willing to go to bed at 9 to get up early. I'm not willing to stop acting like an employee. I'm not willing to work on federal holidays. I'm not willing to delay gratification. Nathan, have you found this to be true with people you've met? They want to be an entrepreneur, but they're not willing to say no.
Yes, this is absolutely true. I think it was Steve Jobs he was more proud of the no's that he had than the yeses. There's a quote you've said many times, and one of the things that I've asked quite a few times, I've told people that we've doubled and tripled our business over time. They said, how did you do it? And to start off with, you know what I had to do, Clay? I had to work twice as much. Like if you're going to double something, you're going to have to put in more effort and more time. Promotion means forward motion, means you're going to have more responsibility. And part of the time, part of the reason I hadn't moved forward yet is because I kind of knew there was going to be more work involved. And subconsciously, I didn't want to do the work yet. And I had to get to that point where I said, I've got a motivation like you talked about at the beginning. I saw my dad at 65 not in a place where he could manage others but was having to do it himself. And I said, in 25 years, is that where I want to be? And the answer was no. And I said, well, if it's no, what do I have to do today to make that a different reality for me?
Have you ever had a day, Jason, where you wake up and you just feel like you're the man?
Yeah, actually.
You feel like I'm the man?
Yeah. It always surprises me, too, because I
He
try
told
to
me
say,
it's
like,
every day.
No.
It should be, but
I'm just saying, just the other day, my wife says, babe, how you doing? I said, I'm on fire right now. And she says, what do you mean you're on fire? And I said, well, let me tell you how on fire I am right now. I've been working on this book, this mastermind manuscripts for going on almost 6 years.
That's going to be good.
Been interviewing, Wolfgang Puck and Guy Kawasaki and John Maxwell and the head of Adobe and all these huge names. And so step 1, interview them. Step 2, turn it into a book. Done. Step 3, sign with the world's top literary agency, FoundryMedia.com. FoundryMedia.com. These are the guys who put out American Sniper, the Chris Kyle movie in tribute. They did The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, the Elon Musk's book. I mean, so many great. So got worked through a lot of rejection to get that deal. Then we've had to get releases from these major people to approve us including them in the book because we have to get permission to include their transcript in the book. And so far, Ross Golan shut me down. Seth Godin shut me down.
Come on, guys.
But on Friday, Daniel Pink said yes.
Nice.
We got John Maxwell saying yes. So I'm getting a lot of yeses, man.
Yeah.
But I had some serious rejection. So my wife says, how are you doing? And I said, I'm on fire. I mean, it's not often that you get 41 best-selling authors to agree to be in your book.
Yep.
And this takes some work. I came in one time to the offices, and they wouldn't let me park in the parking lot. I'm like, why not? Why could they not let me park in the parking lot, Clay?
True. Well, I actually had all the employees park their cars. Jason, were you a part of this moment?
I was part of the A.
Okay, so we all parked our cars in the shape of my literary agent's name, who wasn't my agent yet.
Right.
And so we parked the cars in the shape of the name EFAT, Y-F-A-T. We shot a drone video, and we sent it to her to celebrate her and to hopefully wow her enough to get her to sign with us, and that's what happened.
Yeah, the best part about it, too, is there were no questions. I pulled in, and you were directing traffic. It was like 4:30, 4:45. It's pitch black. It's cold. You're like, hey, pull in right here. Just come on. And I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, just diagonally right here.
Well, I knew if I asked everybody or told them about it in advance, they wouldn't do it, or they'd have too many questions. So I'm like, just park here, move here. Move. So what I want to make sure we're getting this, though, is you now, step 3, you've got to make a daily routine that'll have you feeling supreme. A little extra. You know, supreme is like the chief, the head, the highest ranking, the big kahuna. You got to have a routine that will have you feeling supreme.
So my routine that makes me feel okay, it's not the one I need?
Yep. You got to have a routine that makes you have to trick yourself into being fired up.
Right.
So recently what I've been doing, Jason, is I'm just playing sound clips of people saying nice things to me. And this gets me going. And I'm just kind of joking with you. But seriously, like I sometimes have to have a way to get myself fired up. So currently, the way I fire myself up and the way I've been doing it since the age of 16 is I listen to music in the morning that gets me going.
Oh, yeah.
And I've replaced that probably, I don't even know at this point, maybe 8 years ago with T.D. Jakes because I crave the wisdom that he teaches. But you got to find something that fires you up every day.
You know, and I think this is big. If you go back and look, I've held this opinion for a long time that if it wasn't for women, we'd still live in caves. We wouldn't shave. We wouldn't bathe. We definitely would eat our meat raw. We'd never get out of bed. Like if you see a man who's got something he's going for, if he looks sharp, if he smells good, if he's showered and looks beautiful, there's a woman involved somewhere there. And so we have that motivation, that internal primal drive that says, I've got a reason to get up and really look good today. And we all need to have that reason, something in your life that keeps you going. Your wife, your kids, a goal, a vision, something's got to get you going.
I think that this is sad, but there's a commentary right now that's out there that you can find the stat. I'd like you to find. I mean, let me find it real quick. It's what percentage of Americans pay no taxes. Let's see. It's okay. All right. 47% of Americans currently do not pay federal income tax.
That's insane.
47%. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Nathan, that some people want to care for their spouse. But I know a lot of people don't. And there's a lot of people that just don't care.
Yeah.
They quit caring a long time ago. And this is not a show for these people. You could not listen to this show consistently if you believed that thing, okay?
Well, and I'm going to say, especially for business owners, and that's why I brought this up in this particular context, there are a lot of business owners out there who have put something besides their family and their wife and their kids as their number one priority, and guess what? You eventually lose them all.
Yeah. Well, if I could add something real quick about motivation. You said you have to find something every day. Start your day, whatever it needs to be. You have to find that thing to get you motivated. I get so pissed when people are like, I just can't find the inspiration or I can't find the motivation. They ask other people for it. It's like you said before, have I ever known anybody who goals were given to them or a future is given to them, and how does that work out? We end up not pursuing it because it's not what makes you happy. And do I like getting up at 4 a.m.? I've gotten used to it. I hated it at first, but what did I do? I wake up, I take a super cold shower most days just to get like super, because nothing's going to wake you up worse than being, in a cold hell of a shower. But when I drive to work, I will listen to part of a Thrive Time Show podcast. One, because I want to hear how I'm doing and how I can get better. Yeah. But two, it kind of gets me engaged for what I'm going to expect for the rest of the day. And then as I'm doing my meta time, typically you'll see me next to Devin. I have my headphones in, and I will either listen to like a Rogan podcast, something I like of my own, personal. Yeah, and Joe Rogan, he fills your mind with creative
thoughts. You get to hear the words of wisdom from a lot of people you admire.
Right.
It liberates your creativity. I watch you do it.
And then I'll immediately jump into music I enjoy. And I've found that if I don't do the things that initially get me hyped up,
Right.
I'm going to be that solemn, low-energy, weak coach. And if I'm coaching somebody like Nathan, he's not going to want to come to a meeting if for an hour I have no drive. I have to inspire my people, so I have to then practice what I preach and find inspiration.
So if you need encouragement, right now, I don't know what you need, but right now there's, let's do this. Let me play some sound clips of people that, some encouragement, things that may encourage me, and maybe this doesn't encourage you at all, but this is stuff that encourages me. Here we go. Let me hit play.
Encouragement. So I will transfer you my energy. I will transfer my karma. Here is my karma on you. Have a great aura. Encouragement. Yes. This is a great way to stretch.
I don't know what that is, but that's funny.
Yeah.
It's me. Well, it's from the couples retreat movie.
That was.
I don't know why, but it makes me laugh. Laughter makes me fired up.
Oh, absolutely.
I love humor.
I've heard it's like good, like some type of medicine.
It is. It's so important though that you listening right now, you've got to do these 3 action items. Attach yourself to a goal that inspires you. 2, make a list of the things that you are willing to say no to get that success. 3, make a daily routine that will have you feeling supreme. Now, think about this for a second. Here's a story. The NFL great James Harrison. Jason, have you ever seen James Harrison?
No, but I'm in front of a computer, so
Let me just show you. This is James Harrison. Let me just show you this. This will blow your mind. This is James Harrison workout. Here, I'll pull it up on the screen so you can see it over here.
Oh.
This will blow your mind. This is James Harrison in the weight room. This is James Harrison in the weight room. This is James Harrison.
Big weights. There's a guy over top of him.
This is James Harrison in the weight room. Now, if you look at his routine here, before he retired, he was the
That is a lot
NFL's
of sweat.
strong. By the way, that was when he was 37 years old.
He's got like 3 45-pound plates tied between his legs as he's doing pull-ups. Get out of here.
He
And
be-
he's not a small dude.
No, and he was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year during one of his seasons. But check this out. Harrison was cut from an NFL team 4 times and 3 times by the Steelers. The team that he built his whole career on cut him 3 times before he made the team. Wow. He was cut by the Steelers 3 times and then went on to become a 5-time Pro Bowl player. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers and became the only undrafted player to be named the Associated Press NFL Defensive Player of the Year. But that right there is inspiring.
Absolutely.
So watching stories of successful people, that inspires me. Another example, Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon in 1994 out of his garage. And then in the year 1999, do you want to know how much money he lost? He lost $719 million in 1999.
Wow.
It took him 5 years to grow Amazon to the point where they lost $719 million.
I love that. It took 5 years to lose $719 million.
It took Jeff 9 years to make a profit. He did not make a profit until 2003. 9 years.
So if you want to complain about SEO, I mean,
ESPN, obviously a huge, the sports network,
Yeah.
was founded in 1978. Think about this. They didn't make a profit until the mid-90s.
Can you break down real quick? The reason they didn't make a profit is because they didn't keep it for themselves. Like I've run into this a few times trying to help people. It's like, hey, you've got to be able to limit your own personal growth so you can invest back into the business. That's why during that time, Amazon stock was almost valued the same as Apple, even though they never claimed a profit because all the investors knew that he was just gasoline back into his business.
And with the subtlety that only a megaphone can present.
If you're married to somebody who doesn't believe in delayed gratification, you're effed.
Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. My wife believes in delayed gratification, but we drove some really crappy cars for a long time.
Yep.
And if she was fighting me, it wouldn't have worked. But again, that delayed gratification, ESPN was founded in 1978 and did not make a profit until the mid-1990s. Tesla was founded in June of 2003 by Martin Eberhard. People think that Elon Musk started the company. He did not, but he took over the company And they did not make a profit until the year 2013. Dyson vacuums. James Dyson, check this out. This homeboy started his first invention for the Dyson Dual Cyclone vacuum cleaner, which did not hit stores until 1993. It took this guy 5,126 failed versions of the prototype.
It's a lot of vacuums.
5,126. And 15 years until it worked. We talked about Thomas Edison, 10,000 failed experiments before making a light bulb that works. Reddit. Oh, I love this Reddit story. When the founders of Reddit started Reddit in 2005, very few people were using the platform, so they created fake accounts to look like they had a bunch more traffic. Using their bogus accounts, they worked to create the overall tonality and the direction of the discussions that were on the website. That sounds shady. I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Once the traffic grew to a certain point, they no longer continued to use these fake accounts. Airbnb. The founders of Airbnb secured their initial funding as a result of creating and selling their own cereal. Did you know this, Jason?
I learned this. You brought it up, but I had no idea about this until you
When
you
the
spoke
founders of Airbnb ran out of money, they sold cereal. They actually bought large amounts of bulk cereal and put together cardboard boxes and created limited edition brands of politically themed cereals called Captain McCain and Obama O's and the breakfast of change. And in less than 60 days, they sold 800 boxes of cereal for $40 a piece to generate over $30,000.
These are all officially licensed, right?
No.
What?
They later commented that they had big success selling the Obama-themed cereal in San Francisco, but they ended up eating all of the McCain cereal because they lived in San Francisco.
I've been trying to find the Obama cereal, and if it actually does exist, it's so expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a commodity at this point.
Google. Larry Page and Sergey Brin started Google in 1996. These guys did not make a profit until 1999. I want to make sure you get this. If you're out there and you have a small business and you're upset that you're not getting to the top of Google because you've written an article every day for 7 days in a row, calm down. If you've been writing content for a year and you're not topping Google yet, calm down. It took Google 3 years. Jason, 3 years.
3 years.
Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook while in college at Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
He concocted this thing he called Face Mash, and in 2003, he had a girlfriend he was dating. They broke up, and he thought, you know what, I'm going to start a company. So he started Face Mash. His friend Eduardo helped him fund it. At the end of 2005, so a full 3 years after they started the company, he reported a loss of $3.63 million. He lost $3.63 million. Now you might say, Clay, I need some more encouragement. I don't know. I can't relate to these people. Okay, Walt Disney. I'm 39. Do you know at the age of 37, he almost lost it all again?
Wow.
He lost it all twice.
My goodness.
People don't realize that. Henry Ford lost it all 5 times.
True.
Could you imagine in the world that Henry Ford lived in? This is before the automobile was popular.
Yeah.
Okay? This is before people traveled a lot. Jason, if you didn't have an automobile to travel around a lot, who would you see every day? In a small town, who would you see every day?
Most likely
Me,
my
we'd be roommates. I'd be
family.
right there.
Yeah, I'd see Nathan
buddy.
a lot.
Who would you see?
Probably not a lot of people.
Nathan, do you agree? Before the automobile is popular, would you, if you had to travel by horse, you'd probably see the same people over and over, right?
Oh, for sure.
So let's reenact this for a second. I just want you to see how this goes down, okay? Henry, he's tinkering. He's working on the creation of the automobile. And he goes up to his wife and says, hey, babe, here's the deal. You know those investors, we've got all their money and brought it in, and, well, I'm out of money. We're going to have to, declare bankruptcy and shut her down. And she goes, okay, baby, I'll support you. I got you. You're okay. You know what I mean? You can imagine there's a little emotion there, right?
Yeah.
So
imagine the type of wife he has, because she stayed with him through most of this, didn't she?
I mean, this is wild stuff, okay? So now you see Henry the next day, and Henry has got kind of a wild look in his eye, and you go, and again, you're a small town. You're not gonna be in a situation where you're gonna you see the same people over and over. It's not like where you randomly don't see people a lot. Like in Tulsa, you might not see people more than maybe once every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Story time with Clay.
But this is what happens is, he says, here's the deal, Jason, I know I lost all the money, but I got a new prototype I'm working on, and I need that money. Will you believe in me one more time? Please, please, I need this. I'm so close. Please, please.
All right. Third time's the charm.
Then he goes back and tinkers away. He's tinkering. And he loses it all.
Yep.
So he comes back to the local bar. Everybody in the bar knows who he is. Think about the shame associated with his name. I mean, at this point, we all know people who are pathetic losers in the game of life who just cannot stay sober, cannot stay drug-free, and we want them to win, but they're not winning. And they start to have a brand name where you go, every time I hear that name, I know what that means. We all know that person. So now he comes back in and says, Nathan, Jason, here's the deal. I know I've lost it all twice, but this is going to be it. Like, this is my shot. Come on now. I've got the perfect idea. You're going, dude, you still owe me money. But, dude, how did he even get people to invest in him the third time?
It's got to be a really good salesman.
And how successful are those people that they kept coming up with more money to keep giving him?
True.
And then, let's assume now that you say no the third time, okay? So now he loses it all again. So now he's got to go to different people in the same small town. I don't think people realize this idea that he had to go to the same people in, Jason, the walk of shame.
Oh, yeah.
Think about this. How big was your high school?
I know that my graduating class was a couple hundred people.
A couple hundred people.
Right? That seems about right.
So I'm asking you this. With a couple hundred people, how often could you keep going to those same people and asking for money before it would get awkward? I mean, how many times could you lose it all?
Oh, I mean, for me, I would, in high school, maybe once, and then I'd be done because I couldn't handle the shame. Because, I mean, I remember for the 4 years I was in drumline, you have to audition for your spot every single year. And there are times, so my freshman year I came in new, so they gave me snare. And then I did not do well on my audition, so they stuck me on bass line. And I remember all of the snare friends that I had made, oh, yeah, we're the best part of the marching band. Now I basically have to take a back seat. And they didn't look at, the bass line as being very important or cool. So I had to work my way back up to it. But I didn't stop. I just decided, okay, well, I need to get better. I need to practice more. I need to have a better, audition.
I'm going to share something about Henry Ford that I've never shared on the show before. And I talk about Henry Ford a lot. This is a little fun fact.
Wow.
Guess who kept funding Henry Ford? We talk about it on the show. We say your network is your net worth.
Oh, I know it's not me.
Who was it?
The Illuminati.
Who failed 10,000 times to make a light bulb?
Oh, another inventor.
Henry Ford was funded the entire time by Thomas Edison.
That's beautiful.
So Thomas Edison kept saying, you know what? I believe in you. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Because in 1891, Ford became an engineer at the Edison Illuminating Company of Detroit. And after his promotion to become the chief engineer in 1893, he had enough time and money to work on his experiments, which he named the Ford Quadricycle. And he test drove this vehicle.
A cooler name.
And Edison knew that this was going to be a hot deal. So if you look behind you, do you see the picture of the dudes camping back there? Yes. That is Henry Ford with the axe, and behind him is Thomas Edison.
That's awesome. And
these dudes, and they would fund each other. And there were times where Edison struggled financially and Ford helped him and vice versa. But your network is super important, which takes us to step 4 of this persistence game. You have to surround yourself with people that get it. Surround yourself with people that get entrepreneurship.
Yep.
I understand that Henry Ford lost it all 5 times. I understand Walt Disney lost it all twice. I cannot have a conversation with the average person about these things because the average person is wrong about everything all of the time. Listen to what Pastor T.D. Jakes has to say about what happens when extraordinary people make a poor choice and try talking about their business with people that don't get it.
So Jesus, who is exceptional, is having a conversation with ordinary. and exceptional and ordinary always have a conflict. Anytime exceptional people dwell in the midst of ordinary thinking people, there's always going to be conflict.
And if you can't be around them a lot, just save the audio of what they say. Here's a little audio for you.
Hey, Clay Clark. It's your favorite gunslinger, Brett Favre. Just reminding you, you are a great American.
Oh, thank you.
I mean great. So keep slinging those Hail Marys.
Oh, there's something beautiful about Brett Favre in a truck telling you you're a great American. That's the kind of stuff. But you've got to find a way to encourage yourself. You have to find a way to encourage yourself. And none of this works. Nathan, if you surround yourself with people that are not successful entrepreneurs and you are an entrepreneur, how's that going to go?
You are going to always end up at the point of the lowest place of advice you're getting. If that advice could have got them to the top, they would already be at the top.
This is what's crazy. Now, Jason, you know why I love to help our listeners, but you know the one thing I love the most about interviewing John Maxwell?
What's that? Talking to John Maxwell?
Yeah. I mean, listen to this. This is John Maxwell.
Hey, Clay, John Maxwell. Great to be with you, my friend. Great to be with you.
That's awesome. I've read all of John Maxwell's books.
Yeah.
It's fun to interview John Maxwell. That's cool, man.
I believe it.
That's cool. It's fun. But the more that I surround myself with super successful people, I've discovered what?
You will be more successful, and you're also going to be a lot more driven. That's why I like being able to be on the podcast with you, Saturdays and Sundays, and then have awesome people in the studio like Clint and Mr. Nathan, and shout out to Stairs who's back there, is you guys are more successful than me. So if I ever want to get to that point where I'm meeting my success goals, it'd be good for me to talk to people who know what the hell they're talking about.
And most people don't. 96%, folks, think about this. 96%.
It's so close to 100.
Of American businesses fail within the first 10 years. 96%. So you've got to surround yourself with people that get it. So how do you build up this persistence? How do you learn to become a more persistent person? How do you learn to fight through adversity? There's 4 steps at the very top of this agenda, at the very top of these show notes. Jason, read the 4 steps one more time. We have 4 steps at the very top, 4 action steps. Everybody needs to write this down. This is how you develop a more persistent mindset.
Yep. So step 1 is attach yourself today to a goal that inspires you, because subconsciously you will either look for a way to do something or a way not to do something.
Keep going.
Step 1. Step 2, make a list of the things that you are willing to say no to get that success.
Make sure you check it twice.
Yes.
Okay, next.
Step 3, make a daily routine that will have you feeling supreme.
Yes.
So,
Step 4.
Step 4, surround yourself with successful entrepreneurs.
Step 5, I want you to put on the show notes. Wake up at the same time that successful people wake up. Wake up at the same time that successful people wake up.
That's like
wake
1
up.
o'clock in the afternoon?
Wake up
right?
at the same time that successful people wake up. Wake up at that time. Wake up. And so what I did is John and I interviewed all these super successful people, and we put it all into an audio file. And I'm just going to play this, and I'll tell you who you're listening to. This is some of our most successful podcast guests sharing with you what time they wake up. Here we go.
And I know that most successful people do this. Wake up! I hope that you can
This is the voice of Devin Klein, the founder of Burn Boot Camp. He says,
be inspired by what I do.
And I need you to understand that the bigger your
Eric Thomas, motivational speaker, says,
dream is, the earlier you're going to have to get up.
Melissa Hartwig, this is the founder of Whole30.
I am quite famous in my community, at least for my commitment to my morning routine. I do not deviate. I do not deviate. I do not deviate from it for any reason. Even when I travel, even when I'm on vacation, the morning routine is preserved. And I figured this out a long time ago, realizing that as an entrepreneur working for myself, if I didn't start the day off the way that I intended it, my day was just going to run me over. I wake up in the morning around 6:30 without an
6:30 she wakes up.
alarm.
Get up, right?
Jay Papasan, this is the co-author of The One Thing, the best-selling book with Gary Keller. He says
5:10 most days. My wife
he wakes up at 5 or 5:10 most days.
and I, we work out. We eat a healthy breakfast with our children. I usually get in a good 30 to 40 minutes of reading. And this is all before I get on my email or anything else, right? This is all quiet time. There's a lot less distractions in the morning.
Oftentimes I'll
Jackie Freiberg, the best-selling author of Nuts.
get up about 5:45.
5:45 she's waking up.
I start to rock into my day, and oftentimes by about 8 o'clock, I've got some phone calls set up. And I always try and get a workout in there, because if I'm not working out, then I'm not creative. I have routines that I like to place in there where they fit, but I never compromise.
The latest
Pastor Craig Rochelle, the founder of the largest church in America, says,
I'll get up at 6:30. Sometimes
the latest he'll get up is 6:30.
I'll be in the office as early as maybe 5.
Sometimes he'll be into the office as early as 5.
First 3 hours.
You can't be the pastor of the largest church in America and get to your office at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. You can't. I have never interviewed a super successful person who's telling me, oh, yeah, I get to the office at 9. It's not going to happen.
Hours a day. What I try to do is get to the office as fast as I can. So I try to spend the early part of the morning before other people get in doing study time, because the office heats up around 8:30 or 9, and so I'm most creative in the morning, and that's when I'm knocking out the kind of stuff that I study.
I just want to be the hardest
Devin Klein, the founder of Burn Boot Camp, chiming in.
worker in the room. Like, I refuse for anybody to outwork me. So I get up at 4.
He gets up at 4 in the morning.
Right away. Then I focus on one thing that I'm really proud of yesterday. Just a little thing that I was really proud of yesterday. Get that dopamine hit of success right away.
Get up at 6 a.m.
Gretchen Rubin, the best-selling author of The Happiness Project. She gets up at 6 a.m. every day. Let me play this back here. She gets up at 6 a.m. every day. Here we go.
Get up at 6 a.m. every day. Just do it now.
Wake up!
TD Jakes.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up out of your sleep! Wake up!
So I get up at 6.
Michael Corbett, the best-selling author, the famous TV personality, and the real estate flipper.
But from 6 to 7:30 is sort of my private time.
Wake up!
Are you getting a theme here? Are you starting to see a theme here?
I see a consistency.
Here we go.
Ready, I get all prepped to do my day, and I don't really get onto anything like emails or anything else until I've had at least an hour and a half, acclimate for the day, set out my goals. I look at my calendar. What have I got to do today? Check it out. But kind of pre-pave the day, as opposed to when you have to jump out of bed and run straight screaming into the office. I will always make sure I have time in the morning.
Get up at 6 a.m.
Gretchen Rubin says she gets up at, again, these are just, if you listen, I'll put a link to this on the show notes today. If you listen to the entirety of this audio here, it's called Why Do All Successful People Wake Up Early? You can find it on YouTube. Why Do All Successful People Wake Up Early? It has 39 thumbs up, 4 thumbs down. The 4 idiots that gave it a thumbs down will make less money than the people who gave it a thumbs up. It works that way. So again, if you're out there today and you say, I want to become successful, how do I do it, Clay? What do I do? How do I become a more persistent person? Step 1, attach yourself to goals that inspire you. Step 2, make a list of the things that you're willing to say no to get that success. Step 3, make a daily routine that will have you feeling supreme. Step 4, surround yourself with successful entrepreneurs. Step 5, wake up at the same time as successful people. Wake up at the same time as successful people. And I've got 2 final steps I want to give you, and then we'll wrap up today's show. 1, print out your to-do list every day. Nathan, why do you have to print out a physical to-do list every day?
What you don't know you need to get done won't get done. So you've got to be able to visually see it, touch it, hold it. So it's not in a file, in a folder that's in a Dropbox thing that's somewhere in the ether of your phone that is now dead, that's in your car that you can't see. You need to have it tangibly in your hands.
If you spend a lot of time around CEOs of major companies, almost all of them are carrying a clipboard with their to-do list on it. And the final thing you need to print out every day, Jason, if you print out your to-do list, you also need to print out your
calendar.
Yes, because what gets scheduled gets done.
Right.
And now we're scheduled to do a little audio recording with Mr. Clay Stairs. We're going to wrap up today's show. Woo. Here we go. Without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom. Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results? Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business. How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer? I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business. Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results. What do you mean by dominate? You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Nemus. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru, or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, force the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom, overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound, cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how, but you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up, cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind, now's your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day.
Somebody say.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time. We all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and they scatter and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, He's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time you have money to burn.
Apply what you've learned, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you've learned, increase what you burn, in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you've learned,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With this biblical miracle, I look to shout down the doubters. Kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers. Empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day.
Today's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
Sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day.
It's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
Today is your day.
Come on.
And now is your time.
Sing it, Martin.
Today is your day. Now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.